Good evening, or good morning, or good day, wherever you are from. Today is a special day. It's race day, and I'm joined today by Ilke.
Hi. Yeah, happy to be here. It's actually for my first time to commentate this CRC league. I'm pretty exciting. I'm like I said the first time, like an amateur, and I hope I'm not doing so many mistakes I can. But I hope today's race is going to be exciting as the last two races, and like you heard by my other side is an Osterhovel, or we ought to say noob. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would not focus on us doing mistake today because, as you can see, it's actually raining quite much in qualifying. And it's going to be interesting because this is actually going to affect some driver, and maybe it would change up on somebody who's performing better in qualifying during the rain and might do a bit worse or better in the race. So
Yeah,
right
like
now we are just waiting for the first driver to get out.
yeah, it's going to be so exciting. It's like you said, like it's raining. Many people are like master qualifying in the dries. Now we see for the one of the first time. I feel like this season, who is going to be the master wet qualifier? Of course, we have some favorite here who's going to qualify here on the Spanish Grand Prix because the last time we know that Crocker won the in the first season the race here, so it's going to be pretty much exciting what Crocker can do in this wet qualifying now, or even in the whole race. And we still see some people here waiting for the. And now Chicken Sucker is the one of the first people with Icy Radiant 2 going out. Oh no,
Yeah,
it's the hill. My mistake.
and oh, it looks like he's actually trying to get ahead of Dill.
Yeah, it's I think if it's a wet part, everybody wants to try clean much cleaner as possible. What we see now, Chicken
Yeah,
Sucker here, warming up his tires exactly also with the hill. Um, and
and
also what I see is AC rating going also for going out. Many other drivers too.
yeah, and it's interesting choice. They have chosen an Inter. It's not quite wet enough for the wet tires, so I don't know if other people have chosen other tire option, but it looks like Inter is the main choice here.
Yeah, it's exactly. But we're gonna see in the rest of the qualifying if it's maybe drying up or it's maybe gonna be much wetter. Maybe at the end of the qualifying they're gonna be all in the pits. But we still don't know. It's what is always like a mystery for us drivers or as a commentator to oversee those races. So it's going to be pretty exciting here.
Yeah, and now we're about to see the first one that is going to put in a fast lap here, Dill. Let's see what he can do as he's actually going ahead of the finish line right now. And it looks like we have a yellow flag here.
Sector 1 exactly. But
Yeah, and looks like it's
maybe
Pansat.
it's Panset.
Yeah.
Interesting. I hope it doesn't affect like the Hill's outlap. But we see a lot of spin, and
Oh.
she spun. He spun in his first qualifying lap. Hard to see. As you can see, many people like trying out for new settings, and I think he's going to be more careful now into turn 3. Um, Unbelievable. And also the hill is one of the favorites here to get the pole lap, of course. The first race, he got the first race, the opening race, a win. The second race, he sadly wasn't there because of private things, but I hope we're gonna see some very exciting things with the hill. Oh, he got a little look up there, but now we see also here Raz on his outlap. He's one of the reserve drivers in this league, driving now for McLaren. Last race he was for Williams. Um, it's also like very exciting, and it's actually like cool to see, like many different drivers,
Yeah.
many different talents out here. What about you?
I
Austin?
think there's a lot of variant here. Like you see, some people might be good on the dry, some people is good on the wet. It is a really open world here. We have different driver that is preferring dry, some is preferring rain, somebody is performing better in dry, somebody is performing better in wet. So it's really up to what they are used to, pretty much. And
Yeah, oh, sorry.
as we see, there is really, people are really finding a hard time to find grip here. As you see there, the fastest one is 129, and then we have somebody, for example Dill, on 147. So it's gonna be really hard for the driver right now to put down a time lap. And right now it looks like it's gonna stay, for now it's gonna stay a bit wet.
Exactly. What we saw just there, like Eddie Hill got the fastest first sector now. I think he's trying to be much as careful but fast as he can. And then we see here Michael, I think in his flying lap, going through the chicane and turn 14, 15, going much traction as possible on turn 16. And then here, flat out, and going for a 128.9 on his first flying lap.
Yeah, and under what you were commentating right there, we saw Iblis actually retiring. It looks like he's stuck at the end of the sector 1 or beginning of sector 2. Yeah.
That's actually, to be honest, a little bit difficult now for him, because it is also his first CRC race as a reserve driver, as in the season 2, and it doesn't show really good as to be already retiring from the qualifying, from this session, crashing out. But hopefully he's going to be staying still far close as possible, but the moment he is out.
Yeah. And it is the last one, so he's pretty much going to start out as the last person on the grid. Oh. And it's quite sad, as this is, like you said, his first race. He is a reserve driver. This is not how you want to debut your race, pretty much.
Exactly. And we see many outlappers, many into the pits. I think the front runners is going also for another time lap. But we already see again a blue flag in nearly in sector 2 and 3 here. I don't know who it is, but maybe fallen in a hard time. But we see also Yannis here, like struggling to get to the grip on his outlap and starting after the chicane, of course, into his first flying lap. Let's watch it together on Yannis' first flying lap. And see a little, that was a
little snap there.
Little snap, exactly. Of course, on the wet races, wet qualifying, sorry for that. DRS is not open, going turn into turn 1 in this fast right and left turn, then into turn 3, which we have to be really careful in the wets, of course, taking much track as possible. Sector 1 is done, going into turn 4, taking also here much track as possible, down here 2 into turn 5, of course. And it's cool to see like how drivers like taking, of course, different approach to the corners, like here too in his fast turn 7, or here in turn
yeah, and it's an interesting choice what the stewards have decided here. DRS is enabled in this wet. That's a bit interesting. So I don't know if it's gonna dry out. But
yeah,
that's gonna,
we
that's
also
gonna
see
open.
some drivers here into going for the soft tires here, like new.
Yeah.
We see Raz, Chicken Sucker into pits. Also, Michael now is in his out lap. I think he's going now out for the pits. But Dennis now into the chicane aborts his flying lap, because I think he's here now going better for a drying tires and not finishing here this lap here. And now we see here Michael, of course, heating up his tires here.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Actually, what a pretty special qualifying session here. Like,
it is.
First it was wet, first was wet. Now it's drying up. Many people is going now for the dry tires. Of course, the soft tires. I think some drivers here. I think what we see like after 10 places now, they have waited like to drying up. I think. So other drivers get the rubber down because when it's rubber down, there's more grip on track. So it's I hope we're going to see more from those other drivers here.
Yeah, it's 8 minutes left, but this is quite interesting because the top 3 that has put the fastest lap is actually on inters. So I don't know if that is a benefit of having an inter, or maybe it's gonna dry out even more, so people are actually gonna put down faster lap with soft tires. I guess we just have to wait out and see the 8 minutes we have left, and we will see what people are actually putting on fastest lap with.
Yeah, like here, Michael too, like going down into turn 3 to take a match traction track as possible here. Also making a good exit down into turn 4, of course. Uphill, taking much track as he needs. Going then also again down like a roller coaster into turn 5. Then the invisible turn 6 here, of course. And now the fast left-hander turn 7. Oh, he's taking down a little bit much curb there. Then also a flat out turn 9 into here. DRS wide open into turn 10. A newly created 210 because last time we saw a different one here. It's changed now this year's. Now into the preparation into the chicane, turn 14 and 15, taking much traction as you have to get the most speed as you can into flat out turn 16, and DRS wide open with a 1.19.0.
That is a really good time right there. And he actually used the track as much as he could and as much as he needed. It was well put on the corner, up the straight. It was fantastic drive from Michael there. And as you can see, this top 2 right now are putting their fastest lap with soft. It's drying out. Looks like we're gonna have a really close last 7 minutes, 6 minutes, what's left. And as we can see, there is a lot of people bunching up here.
Exactly. Now there are many going from outlap, like F1 Ellie also streaming on Twitch, of course. It's of course her league that she created for the community. Now I think she's like going side because there's also like flying lap cars. What's really nice from her because of course we don't want to interrupt people's flying laps in this league. Because if you interrupt, of course, the FIA would look into this and maybe give a warning or a penalty here. So try to be careful. And we just saw that the Hill just got a 1.17.5 in his second qualifying lap. It's actually pretty fast. Like,
Yeah, it is quite fast. And it is an improvement.
It's a big improvement. I
Yeah.
think it's because it's more drying up right now. The drivers gets more grip and getting faster. We also see Crocker has the P3. It's also, of course, one of the favorite here because last time, like I said, he won the Spanish Grand Prix here in the last out, and we saw just on one onboard camera that I think it is IC Radiant, and it was IC Radiant who just got disqualified from the session because he just parked in a
in a really dangerous area.
Yeah, it's
And
I do not like to do.
Yeah, it's really hard, and it could affect Ali's lap there. We saw there was a McLaren who was passing by too. It could be really close, but luckily nothing happened. So we are moving away from this right now for now, and didn't affect that much on Ali's lap right here.
Yeah, she got good clean air right there and on turn 12, trying to get much track as possible. But she didn't go near to the curb, of course. Now, what's the most difficult corner, of course, here, turn 14 and 15. But we just saw. Wait, what?
Oh, she's going in.
Going into the pits.
That could be a clever move, maybe, to get a new mindset and set up a better lap. Maybe she got affected. She want to really be quick out there, though, because it's only 4 minutes left.
From what I heard in the race control is that Icy Raiden got stuck onto the grass. That's why he got disqualified from the session. Pretty bad. It's pretty sad. It's nobody wants to have, of course. But some knows, and of course it's virtual. But like in real life, you can stuck to gravel C in this game. Also maybe on like Icy Rain before. But what we see here right now, little topic change, is Bambi is now in his flying lap with his new fleshy tire, going up into turn 4. Taking much corner as he needs, the track as he needs, then going downhill like a roller coaster again in turn 5. Then going flat out, of course, in invisible turn 6, and now into turn 7, where he has to be careful on those yellow curbs. Flat out into turn 9, of course, and then open the DRS to turn 10, and then the second sector with a purple second sector, of course, and then here going down in the inside in turn 12, taking much corner as he needs, then preparing for the chicane, the most difficult corner of this track, going then much speed as he needs, going flat out here, open the DRS, and his time got is a 1.17.8.
That would put him up to a solid P3, and that would be a really good position for this track, actually.
Yeah, because he got also a slipstream here, from the hill, and it might get a better start against Exotic here.
So now we're starting to get close to the end right now. Let's see what actually the driver can put down on the time. There might be some that is gonna have effect from other people. It looks like there's a lot of people that is struggling a bit here. As actually Bambi is trying to let most driver passing by. We have Chicken Sucker. It's gonna be interesting to see if Dill can actually put a faster lap than what he has right now.
Exactly. Like when I was racing last season against the Hill, Exotic, and other drivers like Crocker, for example, or Bambi, of course. Like it was like a really hard competition. Like we really like trying to go fast as we can to get the pole lap here, because most of the time in the CRC league, where I got pole, this driver would have won the race. Like because when we know the experience in the CRC league, like I had the experiences. Sometimes it can of course happen that drivers like many drivers like us get caught to crash into somebody, or gets caught up into other cars because somebody drove into us or drive into them, or we were fooled. So that's like the main goal: pole lap and then win the race.
Yeah, and as you have a goal, of course, to when you're doing quali to beat your time again. Yeah, unless like you have somebody in front of you, you're out trying to beat them again. But as we saw, Dill was actually putting down a good first sector, and now he's on purple on the second sector too, as he almost got affected by Janice, who actually is retired from the session. Now we're gonna see him.
Also saw. Yeah, and now they're here on this last three corners with this most difficult chicane here in this game. Now get much traction as he needs. Open the DRS, and he got
that is a solid time.
0.6, a 1:16. It's actually an incredible lap. It was a really incredible lap. Now we see Exotic in the last chicane now getting much traction, of course, as he can. Flat out into turn 6, open the DRS, and the time what he got is a 1:17.75. So at the moment it makes the Hill as a pole sitter Exotic in second place, but we have, of course, a third competitor. It's Bambi, who's
And-
going into the pits. That means, of course, the hill, or Cooper, you can set it. I'm sorry, Noob, you can set it.
Yes. Cooper, of course, spun out last corner, so that's not going to be good for him.
Yeah.
This is nothing you want to do. You want to affect other drivers' lap. Oh, as he actually struggle and retires.
And he crashed. He crashed.
But we still have Ellie. Can Ellie improve on her
That's
lap?
correct. That's actually a good question. Ellie on his 13 corner. Now a driver there's in front of him. Maybe
It looks like
impeding
she actually has a validate
race.
time here. Invalidate time. So
You
I don't
mean
think
invalidate-
the...
Oh, I see. On the minimap. Yeah, she
Yeah.
going back into pits. That's sad. But, you know, remember what we said about Blitz? That he crashed into the early stages? He's not going to be starting on last place. He's
No.
18th place. He's maybe, of course, far back, but he's, there's
Yeah.
some drivers behind him.
There is, and of course that is unfortunate. You park your car in a dangerous area, so of course you will be disqualified. There's nothing we can do about it, other than actually trying to move away. But you don't want to affect other drivers' time or lap. So
Yeah. But right now, the qualifying session is over. Everybody goes to pits or going to the line. And this Spanish Grand Prix, the pole setter is De Hill. With his incredible pole lap. A 1 minute 16, I think 0.6. Yes, exactly. Exotic in P2 with 1 minute 17.5. Which is actually a pretty gap. Like De Hill
it is.
could
It is a
maybe
really big
dominate the
gap.
race.
It could
He
be,
maybe could dominate the
but
and
there might be some safety car or something that could affect this race too. It's almost a 1 second gap from a qualifying perspective, and it will be really interesting to see how it goes through the race too, because 1 second is a lot.
1 second is a lot, exactly. Like you see, maybe when Exotic get a good start and defends like a lion, like Marco, Fernando Alonso says, it would be. We just see like many things can happen because sometimes quali laps doesn't say anything because you gave everything most of the time. As we know, the experience on the Spanish Grand Prix, that it's pretty prominent to have overheating tires in this race because you have so many long corners, that might affect your tires so hard that is
Yeah,
going
there's
to
a lot
be
of
overheating.
corner. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot more friction, and yeah, it's going to be really hard to control your tire temperature unless there is like a safety car there where you can actually cool down a tiny bit and then try to get it up to the optimal heat.
Because it's my first time here and the commentators. Do you want to say the lights out?
Yeah, why not? That would be actually an honor, and we can see as we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and we will still. There we go. Away we go. As we see Dill actually moving up, and it looks really clean so
We
far.
see a little snap there. We saw another snap there. And Hubert Koslowski going down, overtaking first Exotic then the hill. But then no, they spun. They spun into chaos.
Oh, we
It's
have
a
a butt
chaos.
shop.
Oh, that's
This is
actually
not
already
good.
pretty chaos start. That's actually
This is
what a
worse than
start.
Hungary. And this is a dry race. An Exotic
This is a dry
is
race.
taking a lead with Pansat and Bambi. This could be something different. As Dill is down on P16. This is something you don't want to see happen.
You know what? That's much craziest. No safety car.
No safety car. That is incredible. Thinking about how many people who's damaging their front wing.
It's a safety. I think more it's a virtual safety car or like a maybe. Now it's a virtual safety car or maybe a safety car. We just have to see if the safety car is coming out of the pits. But what a start! Like a chaotic start. I think even in my driver's experience, when I drove this race, the CRC, it was the most chaotic race I ever seen in my experience of this league.
Yeah,
I
there was
think
a lot of people bunching up, and then it started to go really downhill after that. And now you see Shrek Jesus is getting a drive-through penalty for speeding under virtual safety car. You want to be really careful under virtual safety car. You want to keep up the delta, maybe keep like a second on delta and don't speed over it, because they are really restricted this year with the virtual safety car speeding.
as we can see, Raz retired from the session. Crocker gets a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Raz. That means something happened between Raz and Crocker. We're hopefully gonna see that on the protest maybe, but at the moment we see many drivers pitting, even 2 Williams drivers
He's
pitting
holding
this.
Dill.
He's holding it, and we see, of course, too. It's off we go again. Green flag.
That was really quick, and you see Exotic is trying to hold on to his first place as Pansat actually is trying to gap up and trying to get ahead of him.
It's like Merc against Red Bull all over again in real life.
It is. He's trying to hold on to Exotic, trying to hold on to the slipstream. You see Bambi lurking behind there. He's willing to get to first place too. He wants to get past Pansat. Is he gonna get past?
Down to the hill, I think he spun. Because
he spun?
There was a first sector yellow flag.
Oh. This is not the day for Dale.
Place. It's not the day for the hill. First the crash and now this is unbelievable. And we also see like Exotic like defending for his life. Nearly flat out into turn 3 because we know how extreme, how dangerous this corner is with these tires these days right now.
Oh, you see Bambi's trying to move in on Pansat. Really close.
Really close, but not enough. Not enough speed. Enough speed to go down outside against Pansat. Now, I think this is because we had the first lap the virtual safety car. After this lap, oh no, my mistake. This lap there's DRS open, but we just see here.
Looks like Dill is off again. This is not his day.
Off again. That's not this. I think he has over so many over the tires.
You really want to be careful. So when you spin, you're probably gonna have so much heat on the tires, especially the rear one. You really want to be careful. And Bambi, do you think Bambi will get Pansat? Looks like he's dropping down a bit.
Yeah, and because I think. Yeah.
You have somebody spun at the start of
Michael spun in the last corner. I mean, no, I think that's going to be a spinning Grand Prix, as I've mentioned.
Yeah, as far it's been really chaotic.
Now we see down the inside, Bambi into Pansat. Unbelievable overtake here, right there. Now he has to complete this overtake. Oh no, Pansat is fighting this again against Bambi into the invisible turn 6, but Bambi has still upper hand and going down. Overtakes Pansat into turn 7.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. He really wants to hunt down Exotic as he's catching up a tiny bit here.
And we see also Rofi's going down and down. I think he's spotted too here.
He is spinning.
Also, like with Chicken Sucker, like I think that's like I said in here, it's going to be a spinning race here. And also, Ryoshi Bar retired from the session, and that put him out the safety car here.
Ooh. As we have a lot of people spin there.
And same as Michael, but that makes a great chance for the hill to gain up because as we know, the safety car procedures always like they're gonna roll everyone close up the field, going for 2 laps because maybe there's some drivers who are pretty far, and then also who is overlap. But at the moment, I don't feel like that. It's after 4 laps that somebody is lapped already. It's a pretty crazy first 4 laps. No,
Yeah, it is. It's been a lot of yellow flag. It looks like people have really hard time controlling the tire temperature, as a lot of people actually are spinning, or the track might be just a bit too difficult. Oh,
Oh, we see. Ooh, that the blades are trying to overtake in the safety car,
yeah.
maybe, or overshooted the his braking point. But everything is cool now. I think some drivers need to still need to overlap the safety car because the main drivers are not behind the safety car. As you can see, they are still trying to finish the lap so they can go behind the safety car.
This is quite interesting. Pansat on P3. He had a bit difficult time lately on this season, as he has been retiring maybe a bit too much, but he's actually doing really good now. P3 is a solid place. Do you think he can hold up to this?
For him especially, like when we saw in the last race in Austria, like he crashed in Austrian Grand Prix. I think that game maybe gave him a lot of a confidence boost up for the next race. Maybe he's possibly maybe like one of the underrated drivers, but just from the experience wise, what we saw in the last season, even or this season, the first race, he makes too many mistakes to actually call him underrated or one of the favorite drivers. But we just have to see what's going for him. Maybe this year's game changes for him. But at the moment, we see Exalt at P1, Bam beat P2, and Pants at P3.
This is actually interesting, as you actually see Ellie on P6, and this is a
Oh
good
yeah,
chunk of points for her if she can hold on to
that
this.
that would be also her first time to actually get be more the place much higher up than 10th place, because every time when she got score points, she was always on 10th place.
Yeah, and she has been unlucky sometimes. She done some incident and stuff like that, but she at last got points last round, and now she's actually aiming higher on the league. She's actually going for more points. This is starting to look like a good confidence she's gonna have, and maybe this will be consistent as if she actually does this even more.
But of course, Oster, like, it's at the moment 6 laps. They finished 6 laps. It's behind the safety car. We just
Yeah,
have to see at the end how many, if she can hold this place, because we have there's many fast drivers behind, like Hubert Koslowski, Icy Rain, Hoovy Gaming, Rofi, more and more, Cooper, Blitz, Crocker, even Crocker too. As we can see, he just placed in 14th place because of the first lap incident. Maybe he will gain so many places because of that. We just have to see at the end if Ellie can hold her place, or maybe, like we also said, that the hill is gonna come back, maybe gain even maybe points again, or maybe even a podium, because at the moment I only see Exotic or Bambi to win the race.
yeah, and as you saw, Dill was actually putting up a fast lap before the safety car. That's quite interesting. Might he actually work the way up through this leaderboard and actually try to go for at least top 5? I guess we
That
just have to wait and find out. It's a really long
Yeah,
race.
like, it's those races here in this CRC league, we can say like it's actually pretty hard to overtake, because they're much like, if you can say what you want, they are maybe defenders, they are fighters, they want to gain also place much high place as they want to, like, um, when I experienced that, I was like setback. I remember a time in Spain too, like I DNF'd sadly in this race because it's sadly in that scenario it was because of technical difficulty. My controller was disconnected, so I crashed into the barrier sadly. But in general, like, it's pretty hard sometimes to overtake here drivers, because sometimes they have no time to react against the drivers. But we see right now that the safety car is going in this lap, so everybody is heating her tires right now, wiggling through the field, wanted to make the best exit as possible. we see here some drivers like Panset preparing, he's touching, like makes pressure on Bambi. And now we go with exotic Panset, exotic Bambi, Panset, Senna, Yanis, Effort Ellie, Hubert, Icy, Huvi, and Wolfie turn. And now we see Panset trying to have the great exit, great speed, and going down into turn 1, overtaking Bambi, will take his place back against Bambi, of course, and might now try against Exotic.
This is a good overtake from Panzer that actually takes him up to P2 now, and he's actually taking the hunt for Exotic up P1. This could be a solid race for him. I wish him the best actually of actually trying something good. Maybe he can actually perform better next race too if he keeps this confidence. And there is a bit few yellow sector behind there. I don't know what happened. It looks like somebody is spun.
Oh,
and Dill.
Oh, look at it has. Maybe from Hubert or I don't know.
It's Shaq
I saw some. Yeah, it's Hubert. Maybe when you go from the camera to Hubert, he got the broken front wing. If you switch the camera around
Ooh,
it.
yeah,
exactly.
You can see his end plate is gone.
Maybe he's going to down now into the pits because of that. We don't know. I think he's going now. No, he's staying out, so he's going to drive with this broken front wing.
Ooh, looks like we have a Remy that is spinning in front of the pit lane. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, that was close. As I heard from the race control,
and now
Ellie spun out. Ellie spun out, but now we will see that she's gained some places again. Chicken Sucker just gone out into, I think, turn 3 it is.
Yep.
So I feel like some drivers here in this race are already lapped, but we surely don't know, because I see the gap between Crocker and Chicken Sucker is 1 minute 26. So my guess is Shrek Jesus and Chicken Sucker are technically, for personally experience-wise, out of the race. Like, I think it's hard to gain points when you're lap.
And we can see Bambi, he's pretty much on top of Panzer Gearbox right now, and he's actually trying and willing to get through, as they were really close to get past there.
Yeah, like of course, always this chicane. Like when I experienced it here, I always say like, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Experience here, CRC League. This chicane is one of the, I have to say, opinion-wise, the worst chicane ever to put in the circuit, because it destroys the flair of the race, and many drivers, I feel like many drivers just lose time for this chicane. So. But right now in front, there's technically nothing happening, and we see Cooper like 5-second time penalty, speeding in the pit lane right here. So let's look at the middle, like the middle fight here, because we just see. But right now, we go from here from Panzer and Bambi. They had a little fight between them, So the fight is still there against Bambi and Panzer right here. But of course, there's also many, like right here. Blitz overtook just Crocker here on this CRC Grand Prix. The Hill, look what we just said before. Like the Hill had at the beginning so many mistakes, so many spins at the beginning, and now it's P10 here.
Yeah, and it looks like we're gonna have another safety car as the full track is yellow and a lot of people are pitting. We have people pitting.
And
Panzer get a 5 penalty.
I must
you don't want to
here,
do that mistake, especially when you're top 3.
Yes.
This is really, really dangerous. Ooh.
I hope Bambi is gonna get maybe a hard pit stop, but lucky. I just saw it. Really lucky. Panzer just still got through from Bambi, so he got really lucky out of it.
And this is a really interesting choice. Icy Raiden is staying out with 10 laps medium. And she actually had a chance to actually pit now.
I think he hopes that's going to be in another safety car. I'm not I understand this point because when you see like the whole race point, we had the first lap a virtual safety car, then maybe I clearly don't remember we had a safety car before. I can't really remember what lap it was. I think it was 7 or 8, but I think he hopes that because many drivers here gonna spin out, or because it's a tire hell here in Spanish Catalonia circuit, that maybe those maybe IC rating gets something out of it, but we have to see at the end because of course we saw the qualifying lap. Exotic is actually much faster than IC rating. Maybe for some tenths of a time.
Yeah.
But
And it's really hard to keep up with tire temperature under a safety car. And then you're trying to compete that into like a racing speed. Oh, looks like there was a Mercedes that was spun there, as it was Pansat. He's dropping down.
I think
Well,
that's like a.
That's what we've been saying.
Over.
Like he's doing great. He has the speed, but there is too much mistakes.
And spun again.
It's really unfortunate.
I think, like that. Let's say why I don't still consider him as like an underrated driver. Like he is fast. Pansat is fast, but I think what's like lacks is his consistency, like you said, Noob, because some drivers trying to, of course, like as a driver, you want to go fast as possible, and we saw just Cooper got the 5-6 championship to get a flag, and Pansat is like always thinking maybe about like where can I go much faster, where can I go earlier on foot, like flat out. Maybe that's what's actually is something really dangerous. I remember my time.
And there you have Dill at the wall. It's really unfortunate for him too.
And he's one of the like champions contestants, and some mistakes like that. Ooh, he's into the gravel. That's actually not looking good.
It's really hard.
That's going to be. It's really looking good. You know, one question to you, Noob. Like.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep the temperature up here, and they are really trying, but when you have cold tires and mixed with actually weaving around trying to get friction and heat into the tire, it's going to be really hard, and then you might end up into the gravel or a wall if it's a street track. And right now we have this safety car in here as the track is turning green, and the safety car is going to head into the pit.
Yeah, I'm hoping like IC rating with 11 laps of tires. Of course, the hard tires, the medium tires are technically faster than the hard tires, but of course, when it's a freshly new tire, we just have to see what IC rating can make out of those tires, because in papers the hard tires are slower than the medium tires, but of course we see how many lap age those tires are. So we just see now going on. IC rating, preparing, going now flat out. I think restarting. IC rating, Exotic, Bambi, Yanis, Remy, Wolfie, Hoovy, Hubert, Senna, and F1, Ali, and B10 going flat out into turn 16.
We have people at the end here. Looks like it's Cooper and
Crocker.
Yeah.
I think it's Crocker. Crocker
and
Cooper.
Happened.
Crocker and stuff tried to. I don't know really, but we just see like the IC rating is holding up against Exotic and Bambi and lap 13 here, and missed a little gap too. And we just see that Bambi is faster with hard tires than Exotic here. He's trying to look out on the left side or off the right side. Like, how to find IC rating spun. IC rating spun. I think he was too under pressure here right there. Against of course Exotic and Bambi, but that makes more maybe more pressure down for Exotic here, because but still not, because Bambi is trying, is gaining. He is better traction out. He has better control of his hard tires right here. And Exotic is he defending for his life here, right there. It's unbelievable. And here we see he's trying to go for the outside here. And their ERS, he's using all of his ERS. I think also Exotic is using all of his ERS. But here we see here, also we see here Yanis overtaking Bambi into the first turn. Unbelievable. One of the most unexpected things here. Yanis overtaking, but then Bambi's going back against Bambi, but he failed here.
And he's going for the outside. Oh!
Again,
is he gonna get it?
Again, it's such a fight here right there.
And he's passed.
And he's passed, exactly, Noob.
This is really, really good from Bambi. He's keeping up with his pace and he's gaining position right now.
Exactly.
Can he catch up to Exotic? That is the question. As Exotic is actually pulling a tiny bit away here.
And we just saw another crash. Shrek Jesus, DNF from
now we have another safety car.
One more day.
This would work for IC Raiden if he would be on top, but he's unfortunately all the way at the P15, as there is a safety car, another safety car. How many safety cars has this been? Is this the third?
The third time. First was the virtual safety
That's
car.
quite a lot, considering we are not in over halfway through the race.
That's actually pretty much crazy. Like, you see what I'm just saying. I have to always repeat myself. The Spanish Grand Prix is a tire hell.
It is, and it looks like it's giving the pain on all this driver right now. There's a lot of people having problems.
Blitz just got a 5-second time penalty speeding in the pit lane. I think many trying now to change the tires, because I see some drivers like Blitz, or Panzer.
Yeah.
Panzer is now going for soft, I see. Like on the graphic, I see that Panzer is going for softs. Maybe he's trying to recover more and more, because maybe they saw a tactic of advantage. Maybe some Panzer saw a tactic advantage to, maybe they're coming at fourth safety car here.
Yeah, and you never know. It looks like there might be a higher chance of another safety car. And
also we see also, I'm sorry, Noob, but we see also in the skies here how cloudy is at the moment.
It is a bit cloudy. It might be. It looks like it's gonna be a tiny bit wet. I don't know. It looks a bit sad, the weather right now. You never know, and it's gonna be even a more struggle for this driver if it's gonna start raining. Just think about it. This combination of people actually having hard time with his tires is gonna make it even harder now that the floor is a bit more slippy.
It's actually but what it's actually for me one of the unexpected thing is, like, we saw Yanis, of course. He's one of the consistent drivers out here in this league. Like, he's always scoring points and points and points. And at the moment, we see Yanis in P3 in lap 15 with Tyler. Tyler. Oh!
This is not good. We hope he didn't get any front wing damage from that. That would be quite sad if he has to go in.
I hope that's maybe a technical difficulty right here, because that's not unusual. That's not usual. Like, to see that somebody drifting into the left, into the barrier, because nobody wants to do it, of course. But at the moment, we just see normally right now for the soft tire user. At the moment, normally right now, it would be the pit lane would be now open for the user who is in the soft tire, but we just see we had 3 safety cars. Many people pitted also. Like, it's mixed all around. Like, we just see some crazy things, like the Hill on P8. Normally he would be fighting up front. Ellie into P9, Cooper in P10, of course, but he has a 5-second time penalty. Blitz has also Remy Boy, his first race here into the CRC, first ever race, is in P11. Maybe he gets a chance to score his first points, and also the first points for Mercedes, because the last 5 races, there's a fun fact, last 5 races in the CRC League, Mercedes didn't score a single point.
And that
Is
is
it not
something that
crazy?
can change. Yeah, and hopefully Remy Boy can change it. That would be interesting to see. But he has to go through Cooper. And you never know how Cooper is. He might pull away with those 5 seconds and make it even harder for him. Or, oh, it looks like
Ooh,
Center Beast actually spun.
Oh, that's actually pretty sad.
Yeah,
that's not
this
very good
track is
because
really hard for people. It looks like people are struggling with keeping their grip level and stuff like that. It's really hard. And the safety car is in this lap. Exotic once again on P1 here.
yeah.
Behind the safety car, can he actually pull away for once without safety car coming in and saving the day for Bambi and Janice?
And also, is it maybe for the first time that McLaren in this league is not scoring a single point here? Because we see that the McLaren boys, actually the main drivers here in this league, is scoring many points. They are fast drivers. The first race they scored so many points. I think there are also.
Exotic is going in.
Exotic is going in.
No, he's not going in.
No,
he lost grip.
He lost grip. He got a worse start in his life. But now we see that some drivers had to get away. I think the reason is why because some got illegal overtake, or that's why before the yellow flag, so they had to give up the place again for Exotic. So Exotic is P3. Yanis is in P1.
He's going through.
Bambi's going down inside into Yanis. But Yanis, they're touching each other. They're fighting for the lead. They're fighting for this race. As we see here.
And he
It's
actually gets
unbelievable.
through. Oh, this could have ended really, really bad if something would have happened as they actually touched. And it looks like it was a bit of a hard touch, but they luckily both are still here.
Yeah.
And Bambi is pulling a tiny bit away. A lot away.
It's actually, yeah, I think now Bambi, because Bambi has free air, he's going now far away against Yanis. But we see also that Exotic gained his time back against now Yanis. So hopeful when we see maybe after I think 2 laps was it or 1 lap, they're gonna get the RS again. But we just see Center Beast trying to look for a space to overtake Remy Boy because you just see he has get great traction up flat out into turn 16. Now ERS using all his ERS, gaining so much speed, now fighting into the straight line. And who's going to be in front in turn 1? They spun and the Remy spun, unbelievable. As they both touch, I think those 2 racing drivers didn't want to let the place down. But now we see that's what I mean. It's so hard in this league to overtake somebody without even touching somebody. So it was a surprise right now that the Hill is actually P10 in 1 point. So, and even Panzer in P3. So it's going to be C and Crocker. That's actually pretty sad because we see just Crocker, the NF from this race. I think he just going back into pits. He saw no chance anymore to gain some points or win this race. It's actually sad for the last time who he won his race here, retired from the Spanish Catalonia Grand Prix.
Yeah, and as we have said so many times, people are struggling on this track. Most of them actually been training, and now we see DRS is enabled. And people actually have been training, and it looks like most of the training hasn't been well performed as it should be, as most people think is probably going to be an easy track, but it looks like most people are struggling actually with this track.
Yeah,
Hansad is actually doing a really good job working his way up here. He's a P6 now. This is actually really good as he's passing Rolfie right now. This is good points for him.
Yeah, that's actually Hansad making moves. Like we see he's gaining. Look, this here, for example, this difference, like with the soft tires, like how grippy that is against the medium tires. Like he braking later, he's going from the corner much faster. Maybe he's going now for DRS right now, but then he spun like that's just. I'm just have to say it's and he crashed. He's out.
And he's out.
Out of this ground.
This is super
he
unfortunate,
didn't look-
as we will have another safety car. Another
It
one.
wasn't a good safe exit here. I think the FIA will look into that much more closer right here because
Yeah.
it didn't saw a good safe exit right here to go back into the track. I think who caught up was I feel like F1 Ellie in this shenanigan, but I really don't know because Ellie was, I think, it was maybe Hubert, but it's just sometimes like Pan said here, like it's his second DNF in this 3 races because he was in the first race not attending. That's why he lost his Aston Martin seat, but in the second and 3 race he just got DNF. And for Mercedes especially, it doesn't really look good. It's maybe the 6th time that Mercedes doesn't get a chance to get points.
And Panzer was making move after move on those drivers and actually gaining position. It was unfortunate that he had to spun and actually ended up crashing and retiring from this session. He is a good driver, but he needs to be more consistent.
Exactly. Like, I'm not saying like that Panzer is a bad driver. Panzer is, I think that's the most talking point here in the CRC league.
Yeah.
Because Panzer is fast. Like, we cannot like hide from it, but consistency is something that Panzer is lacking of. Like right now, we just see in the table Bambi P1, Bambi P1, Yanis P2, and Exotic P3. And that makes actually get a new chance for Yanis to overtake Bambi again, or maybe Exotic.
Yeah. This has been a really bizarre race right now. We have so many safety cars, a lot of people spinning. Really bizarre. And yeah, it's just how the races are. You never know what's going to happen. And it's come like surprise to you pretty much. And it shocks you.
Yeah. It's something like we never expect, of course. By Panzer, we have to little say like even like before the race, we all together, like we look out and speculate who's going to be DNF, who's going to be gun points, who's going to win, because that's like something little to do, and it's actually little bad reputation for Panzer at the moment to see that he is known for crashing out or DNFing with every race, inconsistency. So it's actually and now this time in the Mercedes seat now, DNFing, it's much more harder.
Yeah, it is. And as you said, Mercedes hasn't scored points, and this could be like a hope for Mercedes as he's really fast, but at the same time he is not consistent at all.
Exactly, but yeah, but we see right now here. I think right now they are prepping for maybe again another lap. I don't really know. Is the safety car going in this lap?
No, it's gonna go for another round. It's gonna go for another round.
Another round. I think we forgot too hard when we talked together that we forgot what lap the safety car's going in.
Yeah, because it is what we say. It's a bizarre race. We're a bit shocked of what's happened, how many safety car, and it still keep on going. But it is how it is, and we gotta move.
We have to also say, like, it's at the other positive side, like how good battles are here in this league, in this race, especially like Bambi, Yanis, Exotic, even for a time, Panzer too. It was like unbelievable. Even at the start, like Hubert, what the amazing start Hubert got. Like he nearly got P1 after he was in P4, I think, at the start. But you just see like how sometimes drivers are.
You can see Janus has actually gained 11th position. That's wild.
Exactly. I think that's one of my driver of the day, because staying in P2 gaining 11 places with smart strategy calls. And when we look at down to Hoovy Gaming, I think he spun. I think. And it's actually sad to see here in 13th place. Like, I must say something. And it's, be honest. Like, spinning is one thing, but the other thing is like spinning in the safety car. I understand like if you're too early in the power, but you're technically driving slower in the safety car. Like you have to be of course careful. Nobody's going to overtake you. You can't overtake somebody. Like it's but I feel like sometimes a question mark myself. Like right now we just recently is like Hoovy Gaming who just spun out. But we also saw race control safety car in this lap, Noob.
Yeah.
So
We are
how
going
do you
green
feel
again.
about it?
It's gonna
How
be
do you feel
nice.
about it?
I'm glad that we are gonna see some racing. Most of it has been yellow, and it's nice to see some racing. But most of it has been through safety car. We want to see racing. We want to see people showing what their pace is and stand their limit pretty much. But now we are
No.
going green again, as Bambi is holding up.
Bambi, he's the controller of the speed. I think he's going to be losable. And now he's going to start this lap. And lap 23. And Yanis, I think, has a great speed. He's overtaking Bambi. Is he going to overtake onto turn 1? He's got the most speed here and is going to be the leader into turn 1 and turn 2. But it's not, the fight is not over because Bambi, he's trying also like to go down from the inside. But I don't see it's gonna. And we saw, oh my god, sector 1 crash. And I think, oh my god, Exotic is going down and down and down. He just spun, oh no. He spun, he got, oh no, his podium chances is just gone down here. It's, ladies and gentlemen, it's going down here. But we just see also here, Yanis and Bambi fighting for this win. And always the time like that Bambi always get away, and he's going down from inside in the usual turn 9 where you unusual like overtake somebody. But I see also like Chicken Sucker here.
He's actually trying to race them.
Unlapping, racing against them.
That's,
I think it's
is he
not
gonna
going
get
to
a
be
penalty
good
for ignoring the blue
Yanis.
flag?
That's maybe true, like because at the moment he looks so faster, but he is so tied up that yeah, he's technically fast, but it's actually personally for me, in my opinion, a pretty darn. I think Yanis is not going to be happy with that.
No.
That Chicken Sucker is going to
affecting
just
him.
ignore the ignoring the yellow blue flags here. It's not looking good here.
And yes, it's really weird because Bambi is of course AlphaTauri. I don't know if this is a strategy move. And Dill out of nowhere is back on P2.
Dill is back on P2. That means unbelievable. I just, it's actually,
This is
wow.
It's he's moving on Chicken Sucker as Chicken Sucker actually are getting penalty from ignoring the blue flag. I don't know if he's gonna get more.
A safety car. I'm sorry, Noob, for saying something. Safety car. Blitz just retired from this race. It's actually, I think, the craziest race I ever watched. It's literally no fighting at all.
It's safety car after safety car, and we might finish in the safety car. You never know.
It's just, I think for the F1 game, I must say, it's not going to happen. I feel like.
Yeah.
But here, like, at this point, I see.
It's weird how Dill is up on P2 and he's going for a pit here.
And he's going for the pits.
It's a bit cheeky, but like, see what he can do.
I think he's going for the
Lewis Hamilton. Could be smart here, as Bambi is not going for the pit here. He is working his way up.
Senor, many people pitting, like the Hill, Yanis, Cooper, Hoovy, and Exotic too. For the soft tires, it's actually interesting.
It is.
It's how many laps left? 8 laps left, and we are gonna have 2 laps of safety car. So
maybe they think more safety car, than less tire degradation.
Or because of this because it's always 2 laps of safety car, 6 laps. That means they have 6 laps of soft, full power soft, so they can literally rubble them as much as they can to gain so many places. I think that's actually a smart call. Like, just we see, like, F1 Ellie again in P6. She makes actually a consistently good race here because she doesn't lose any places. She gains places, but she's, of course, as we know, not that fast. But that's something like a smart strategical. Like 2 laps left, 2 safety cars laps, and she's on the 5-lap tires here. So at the end, we shall see what Ellie can do with this last 6 laps here.
Yeah, and
Is it 6 laps?
yeah, it is, and she has been doing really well. I'm gonna be honest. It's like most of people had as a strategy to pretty much do, I don't know, a 2-stopper, 1-stopper. Now, I don't know how many people have done. It has been a lot. As you can see, somebody has done 1, somebody has done 3. Bliss has done 5-stopper, but he is retired. Some people have extended a stim onto their maybe setup. So it is a really hard choice.
You know what I'm most surprised about is something, for example, like with Chicken Sucker at the moment, because Chicken Sucker is still like lapped by Bambi, and she can't. I don't know why that the safety car doesn't let Chicken Sucker go through and then unlap himself, because he's at the moment such a difficult situation that he can like destroy somebody's lace. Like at the moment for Hubert, Rolfie, Seno, Icy Raiden, even maybe F1 Ali, maybe when he's going out of the way, because at the moment it looks pretty bad for Seno. Not for Seno, for Chicken Sucker.
Yeah, and you don't want to disturb other people when they are trying to fight for a P1, a P2, a P3. You don't want to disturb. If you have the blue flag, you got it. You can't ignore it. It's there for a reason.
And you know what we missed out here in the whole race? Because we had so many safety cars, you know? When you start the race, before you start the race, you choose your own strategy, of course. Or you discuss is with your race engineer. The fuel load.
Yeah,
Of
it
this car.
gotta be a lot, because you have been through a safety car too much. It's gonna be probably a 3-lap plus, or unless you have underfueled it.
Maybe when you go for a different camera settings, maybe you're gonna see at how many loops of fuel they have. Maybe go for a different camera type. Maybe you can see that from there.
No.
From the wheel. But if you don't, then. But we see in this lap it's going to be the safety car. So Bambi is the leader. He's going to be controlling the speed from this laps 26.
It looks like Chicken Sucker actually going to be controlling the speed here, as he's actually in front of Bambi. It's a bit interesting, yeah.
Yeah, he is. Actually, he
and
is.
And Ali is getting a 5-second time penalty for collision with Dill.
Ooh, that's actually not good.
And there you see it.
Off we go. Bambi still in P1, but Hubert has more speed. He's trying to overtake around the outside, but no, and she's
holding back.
So close. Yes, exactly.
Could have been a nice move if he got it through, but he wanted to be a bit more careful. He don't want to spin. And Bambi is pulling away as we have a yellow flag, and it's looked like it's Ellie who spun.
I think
it's really unfortunate.
Because so many drivers. Yeah, it was so much. But because we also saw Icy Raiden just going down and down. The second Aston Martin driver. Here is now P7. Maybe it's a damage limitation race, but Hoovy Gaming is in his 2-lap tires, is P3, has the soft tires, like I said, and the others are the 16-lap tires. Maybe Hoovy Gaming is a chance to win this race. It's mind-blowing.
Yeah, and it looked It looks like he has the advantage here as he has the soft 2 laps all. There's nothing. The 2 in front of him have 16 laps done on their hards. This is going to be really hard.
You just see like how many traction he has. Of course, like I said, the chicane is always the difficult part. Of course, mostly for like dirty air, like they have a dirty air in front. And we still see Icy Raiden another spun for how many times now? I think he's going to down in the pits. Yes, he does.
Yes.
Chicken Sucker for how many times now got a ignoring time
Now
penalty.
he's letting them.
Penalty. It's actually, I have to say, outrageous actually.
Yeah.
I must say.
It is.
Because you, I think you saw it in your experience as a commentator that ignoring blue flag is not a bad idea, and we saw the hill dog out there, the inside but P7, but he is giving the placement because he got a really bad traction out there in turn 7 here. It's actually a hefty fight against them, and now we just see Chicken Sucker letting other drivers letting through, but we saw another spin here from Yanis. It's actually sad to see that Yanis got actually a spun here, and Ali is into P9, but of course with his 5-second time penalty, we just need to see if she's keeping this P9 here, because of course Yanis is faster. I think it is, and Hoovy. At the moment, I think CRS is open, and Chicken Sucker just spun. Okay.
This is not a good day for Chicken Sucker, as he's E13, a lot of penalty and ignoring the blue flag. This is not a good day for him.
It's not, of course. It's just I think, a race to forget for him. And we see like Hoovy Gaming is trying to gain against Hubert Kozlowski. But of course, Hubert's goal is like to gain many points as possible. Maybe is trying to win here, but we see Bambi is just faster. It's just more faster in this race. And we see a red blink from Hubert. I think he just used all of his ERS to defend him, that maybe Hoovy can overtake him into the first straight again, in the start-finish straight.
It looks like Dill is back on the hunt. He's hunting that P3. He's coming up really quick. Is he gonna get through here? Hoovy got time penalty, it looks like.
But we also see like...
And he's getting a fastest lap. It's wild how quick he is.
No surprising for Dale. But now, maybe the Hill is trying now for overtake Hubert. Hoovy is now P4, but of course, with his 5-second time penalty, we just have to see how far he can go into his step. And I think we got another spun here. I think in turn 1, turn 2 is a Mercedes driver who just spun here. And
it's the debut of Remy Boy. It's really unfortunate. He is retiring.
And DNF here tying in the middle of the track, but it's actually pretty sad. It means the second time in a row Mercedes didn't score a point.
Yeah, he had his chance for scoring points, and you want to keep on going unless you are at the situation of Chicken Sucker or Icy Rain. You want to still go. You want to go for the points.
At the exact same moment, sorry for interrupting you. At the same moment, the Hill just overtook Hubert Kozlowski. He's now into P2, technically still in P3. It's still a madness race.
Yeah, the Hill is a quick guy. He's really quick. He's known to be quick in this league. Bambi is also consistent and quick. He is keeping up there. But the Hill is just another level, I would say. He is quick. He's fast. He's putting his car well into the corners. He's doing it pretty much as a Formula 1 driver would do.
Exactly. And because of the 5-second time, I think like if Bambi doesn't make mistakes now, I feel like Bambi is gonna win for a second time in a row a race. And you just see also Kubo was slowing down. Maybe Ellie gets advanced because of that, but we just also see Ellie just got overtook from Yanis.
Yeah. And Ali really want to go for the points there today. You see, she is trying her best. She's trying that, but it's not enough. Centerbeast is a bit faster. He has Flasher soft, and it's gonna be much easier for him to overtake. Oh, and Cooper spins off as Ellie and Centerbeast will get an easy overtake.
Maybe that's a chance for Ellie getting actually more points than rather than just 1 point. That's something that Ellie also got a wish for. Like we saw Ellie always, the highest scoring was P10, and if maybe this race just shows that she can also score more than 1 point.
Now you see Hoover Gaming Exotic.
Ooh,
Exotic
Nick
is
just-
climbing up here. He's getting past. Nice overtake. He's pulling really quick away too.
Yeah, I think Howie just got used so much in his tires, Robert so hard down, that he just got no life left. Because we just also see like the Hill and Bambi, that like Bambi has literally was so consistent, is equal on pace against the Hill. Of course, sometimes under some corners, like the Hill is going to be faster, but
It's really
at the
close
moment we
right now.
see that he's going to be the winner of this Catalonia Grand Prix.
Yeah, he has 21 laps on his hards, and the Hill is catching up a tiny bit. It's pretty much his last lap after this one. Can he hold up? And the Hill is actually catching up really quick here.
Alright, last lap. Bambi
Bambi with
using all of his CRS, all of his life right now, trying to not get overtaken by the Hill. Bambi going to turn 1, up here to turn 2, flat out, technically flat out into turn 3, but same as the Hill here. Then I'll get as much traction as possible here. Then later Bambi uphill, turn 4, getting too much traction as possible. Downhill, turn 5, Bambi. It's giving his all of his racecraft to win this race. The speed, his cornering, his unbelievable driving. Let's stick still with Bambi. Let's stick still with Bambi here, because he is with ERS wide, using all of his ERS. Turn 10. Now, it is his third race here in the CRC league. Of course, he drove one before here in the last season, and it's his second time right now. His second race in a row where he won the Spanish Grand Prix, but we see how close the Hill is. But he's going around flat out onto turn 16. And we have it. Here is your Spanish Grand Prix winner, Bambi. Congratulations, Bambi.
It was
And
a really good race from him. And the Hill was really close. And he has a penalty. Of course, he got to serve it. I don't know if it's deserved or what happened. Maybe the student might check on it. But right now, the standing looks like it's first place to Bambi, P2 on Hubert, and P3 on the Hill. Further down, we have Exotic, Hoovy, and Rolfie, Cooper, Centerbeast, who's going to finish it through this corner here, and Ellie on P9.
We just see Ellie going to the chicane. Maybe she's getting his points more than 1 point. Here in the chicane, the last 14 and 15, getting much traction as possible, flat out into turn 16. And is it? I don't think. It doesn't. He's not P9. But then Janice spun! And that means F1 Ellie
is doubling her points.
P9.
She's doubling this point.
That's congratulations. Unbelievable. It's actually congratulations to Ellie. Like more than 1 point. That means she exceeded her points here. And of course, we have to congratulate one driver, Bambi, to win the Spanish Catalunya Barcelona Circuit Grand Prix here. Second in a row here.
And as the driver of the day is actually the Hill, and he it's actually well deserved. He was pulling down sometimes, but he was working really hard to get up there. He is on a solid P3, maybe P2. I don't know if Stu is going to check onto it. He might be removed or he might stay, but for now he is on P3. It's well done from all these three driver, and Ellie scoring points today.
Exactly. But I have to say something. It's also an Omega drive from Hubert Kozlowski, just getting another Haas podium. Because last time I got the last time the Haas got the podium, I won the I won the Monegasque Grand Prix, but I can't remember exactly. But we just see it like Hubert, congratulations. He got from P6 to P2. Of course, we have the FIA maybe look into it. Maybe it's not that hard penalty, but because we saw that Ellie and the Hill was like in a conflict.
And there was a lot of people who has retired from this race too. As we can see, all of the Bliss has retired, and Remy and Chicken Sucker, they both got lapped pretty much a lot.
And, yeah. How do you feel? What's your opinion on this race? Like,
it's like I said through the race, it's a bizarre race. A lot of safety car, not that much racing, but some people has really worked hard to get up there the hill. Pansat was doing a great job, and Hubert Kozlowski, who is done absolute amazing. He's up on P2. He been working through the whole race pretty much. It's wonderful to see how people are adapting through the race when there is a safety car coming out, what they do. And yeah, it's been a bizarre race, but people have gone through it. Most of them crashed, but those people who's done well, they well deserved pretty much.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable race. It was a crazy race at the same time. I have to say, one of the craziest races I ever seen or drove in the CRC league. So many safety cars. I feel like there were really good fights, mostly, especially in the front. And I hope we're gonna see much more fights in the future. And yeah, do you have something to add on?
Other than congrats to the top three, Hubert's, The Hill, and who was the last guy?
Bambi,
of course. Bambi was the winner. And then Ellie, who's getting points today. Congrats to her too.
Yeah. So that's it. That was it.
Yes. And we will see you on next race. That would be, you want to say it or? It's
we're gonna
Belgian?
see because next week because for the first time we're gonna have a sprint race in this CRC league on Saturday, and then Sunday, of course, is there the league race.
It's gonna be really fun to see how people are doing through the sprint race. Isn't this the first time CRC would host a sprint race?
Exactly.
So this is gonna be interesting to see. Well, I'm gonna tune off right now. It was wonderful to have you guys here, and this race was really interesting. But it was fun. And other than that, I have to say goodbye.
Goodbye, people.